What's up? So, to put it simply, this is gonna be well. I mean, from the title already, you already know. But I'm gonna be reviewing basically the first three movies. It's not gonna be anything really all that detailed or anything. Um, because I don't know. It's been like a couple weeks since I watched the other two movies. It's been like maybe about a week since I just watched the third one. But yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing them. And yeah, I'm not like a reviewer or anything, so it's just gonna be like more like my opinion on them, which is pretty much any review. But I don't know. I basically, yeah, I'm not gonna be very professional, so don't expect that. Um, to start it off, the reason I'm even reviewing them is because the sixth one came out, and my family and I basically decided that we're gonna watch all of them before we watch the sixth one, right? So we gotta refresh our memory and all that. So that's pretty much the case here. And yeah, we'll just get into the first one. So the first one, I mean, it's pretty much the best one out of all of them so far, out of the first three. In my opinion, anyways, it's the most solid. I mean, I don't know how to really get into it. Like, I like the characters. I liked the way the plot unfolded. It's a good way to put it. And I like the deaths. Although they obviously get a lot more creative as the series goes on. They're pretty alright here. They're pretty good here now. Alright, they're pretty good here. But yeah, I like the most the way that they would build up the tension to the kills, and also, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the characters for the most part. Like, I liked pretty much every one of them. Even the bully, right? He was like an asshole at first, but you got he had his little character development. And he had probably like the most interesting moment where he's like trying to kill himself. Like, he controls his life, and so he's trying to kill himself by driving through the streets really fast, and it doesn't work until he's almost gonna die by the train, and then boom, he dies too. Well, he doesn't die, but the other guy dies by the train, right? Because he was saved, so now it's the other guy's turn. That type of thing. Or I don't know why I said that just now, but you know what I mean. That was really cool. That was like a really, really fun scene, really crazy scene, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the first movie. I'll say that, before I watched it, I had like a vague memory of how Death does things, but when I actually did finally watch the movie, I was like, oh, well, that's yeah, never mind, because I kind of thought that the Death's like natural, right? Like, obviously it's not natural, but I thought that it basically made it happen so that it was whatchamacallit. He kind of just set it up so that it happens, right? But no, Death kind of just like makes it happen, like whatchamacallit, the liquid pouring from behind from like, I don't know what one of the like the I don't know what to call it, pipes or whatever from the toilet. It started like moving around, you know what I mean? But it obviously wasn't natural. Like, it was Death doing it. And then like when the teacher, her cup just like cracks, like, I thought it was more natural, but I guess I remembered wrong. Death kind of just makes things happen so that you can die to it, and then he covers his tracks somehow, making it look natural. Although, even if he didn't cover his tracks, I don't really know what, like, I mean, maybe it's so that the people don't figure it out at first, but it's like covering the tracks don't matter, like, at that point. Well, not at that point, but I guess it only really mattered in the movie, in the first movie. In the second and third movie, he doesn't really cover his tracks. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty obvious that it's like some sort of really crazy freak accident. And then to the characters, it's definitely obviously Death, right? Like, because at this point in the third movie, they're like, okay, well, they kind of have an explanation. So yeah, that's about it. It was a good movie. It was a really, really good movie. I liked all the characters, and it was great. I don't know. That's all I can say. It was pretty great. Second movie now. The second movie was the second movie was pretty solid too. I really liked a lot of the interaction between many of the characters there, because there was like some of them didn't really believe it, but some of them obviously did. They kind of they're like that stoner guy. He was like, he kind of had to believe it because all the crazy stuff that was happening, some of the deaths that were happening. So he kind of had to believe it. And my favorite scene is actually, where that woman gets killed in the elevator, because the stoner guy, sees a sign and he's like, "Hey guys, I think I see a sign. I see a guy with hooks or whatever." And so that was really cool because, like, he actually saw the sign for himself. Because usually, in the first movie, it was only really the main character that saw the signs, and then the second movie and onwards, they start seeing the signs themselves, the other characters, but for the most part, it's still the main character that sees them the most. But they kind of start seeing it, or at least in the second movie, there was at least a few people that saw the signs, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, not much to say about the second movie. It was kind of interesting that at the end, that girl had to kill herself, to create new life or whatever the hell it was. So that was cool. But damn, the chick that survived at the end of the first movie, or well, it's more like after the first movie. I forgot her name. Her name is like something Clear. Yeah, Clear. She died at the end, or near the end of the second movie, and that was pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty, I mean, I didn't. It was sad, but it was more shocking. It was more shocking because, like, damn, bro, like, it just exploded. I hope she died like quick, because that was well, yeah, burned to death. I think she did, because it was an explosion. So yeah, probably died pretty much instantly. I think both of them did. But yeah, so that was crazy. And it was cool to see that death won't let you kill yourself, right? You have to like die by him. Because I kind of thought that was introduced in like the fourth or fifth movie, but no, it was actually introduced in the second movie. Because even in the first movie, but you could chalk it up to like, wow, insane coincidence. But I mean, yeah. So death doesn't let you kill yourself. So yeah. And then in the third movie, it's pretty much the weakest one. The deaths were pretty good. They're pretty crazy. But I did not really like the photo thing where they use the photos to find the clues on how somebody dies. It didn't really add all that much, to be honest. Because you kind of just have to look at the signs anyways of a death, incoming. So knowing how somebody died didn't really help, because usually they would die where they were at. You know what I mean? Like, they couldn't really use it to be like, don't go near here or whatever. They would just die where they were at anyway. So the photos didn't really help all that much, kind of like helped. No, it didn't really help. And a lot of the characters don't really act with, they don't really actually talk to each other in this one. It's more like everybody's dying until like pretty much the end, right? They're not actually able to grasp the situation here, so it's kind of not as good as the previous ones in that sense, right? They don't actually like interact with each other here. It's more like, the main character always being too late, pretty much. So that was kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. I like the sort of, mystery / figuring out shit aspect that happens. Like that happens in the first movie, right? Because they get that shed. So they like know death is gonna come after them. So they get, they get the main character into the shed so that he can escape death, right? So that was cool, but that doesn't really happen in the third movie. In the third movie, everyone's just kind of helpless and just dies. And even the one guy that survives like a death, he whatchamacallit, ends up just becoming sort of like a but like a minor villain, because he tries to kill the main character, but then he ends up dying anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it was kind of lame. It's kind of lame. I don't know if I'd say it was completely bad, but it is worse than the other two for sure. in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's really not a lot I could say. Like like I said, I don't even remember the names of the characters. Like, because it's been a bit since I watched it, and honestly, it's kind of just hard for me to remember names in general. So, yeah, it's very vague. Sorry about that. And you're probably not even gonna see any like footage. Maybe I don't know. Maybe probably not. I'm kind of lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like if it's not editing a gaming video, I'm kind of lazy. So you're probably just gonna see gaming footage. If you watch the movies, you watch the movies. You already know what the hell I'm talking about. If you haven't, sorry, you're not gonna see any footage really. Maybe I'll like look up a picture or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So first three movies. Well, the first two movies pretty good. I enjoyed them very much. Third movie, didn't enjoy it as much. I wouldn't say it's really bad or anything, but it's not as good. Especially because at the end of the third movie, the main girl gets another premonition, but she can't do anything to stop it, which kind of makes them pointless, and it kind of makes me question the premonitions, right? Because it's like, if you get a premonition and you can't stop it, then, like, what are the like, where are they coming from then? You know, is it like death giving these people premonitions so that he can just kill people in crazier ways? Like, what's the point of seeing a premonition if you can't stop it? Pretty much. But maybe she does survive in the fourth movie. I don't know. I don't actually know. Doesn't really look like it though. But yeah, I get it. You can't escape death, but it's like the whole premonition is the point of that. So if there's a premonition where you can't escape death, then it kind of defeats the purpose, you know. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little three movie review thing here, and I'm gonna review the other movies when they come out. I'll try to review the movies as I watch them, so I can get more in depth into what I think about them. But I was just a little late before I came up with this idea, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you had a good day, and if you like the video, then subscribe if you want to see, well, I wouldn't say more, but maybe more. I don't know. Depends on if I keep reviewing movies and whatever the hell. I mean, I am thinking of reviewing other stuff, but I don't know if I'll review just, like, I'm not just going to review movies, right? I'm not going to be a movie review channel specifically. I'm mostly a gaming channel, right? Like, that's my main thing here. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll think about it. But, yeah. I don't really have an outro, so, see ya.